Students, see page number 34. The First World War on the Eastern Front differed, underline differed, differed means different, from that on the Western Front, means the war which was fought by the Russian armies from eastern side also and from western side also. So from eastern side that was a different from the western side. How? Try to understand. In the western side, armies fought from trenches. In the western side, there were so many trenches, and with the help of the trenches, so armies, soldiers, they were fighting with the support of the trenches. Now these trenches stretched along eastern fronts. In the east, so eastern side, that was a different. In the east, how was the condition? Armies moved a good deal. Underline moved a good deal means now they moved a long distance, means they covered a long distance, and fought battles, leaving large casualties. Casualties means killed. So many people, so many soldiers were killed in war in eastern side, and they covered long distance also. Defeats were shocking and demoralizing. Now they were defeated. Eastern side, they were defeated. Russian armies were defeated. Russian soldiers were defeated. Where? In the eastern side. So because of the defeat, now their courage and their moral, which was lost. Russia's armies lost badly in Germany and Austria between 1914 and 1916. In this year, during the 1914 and 16, in Germany as well as in Austria, now Russia's armies were defeated. There were over 7 million casualties by 1917 as they retreated. Underline retreated. Retreated means at the time of moving away. So when after the defeat, when they were returning, at the time of returning, the Russian army destroyed crops and buildings. At the time of returning, so whatever the fields and buildings, now they started to destroy crops and buildings. Why? To prevent the enemy from being able to live off the land. Means they destroy the crops and buildings because of the, if their enemies, if they got crops, fields and buildings, so they could easily able, or their strength, their power would increase. So not to increase, because of this reason, so they destroy the crops as well as the buildings. The destruction of crops and buildings led to over 3 million refugees in Russia. So because of such a destructions, now they destroy the crops and buildings not to able the their enemies, so they destroy a lot of, so it resulted crops destroyed, buildings destroyed, so it led to over 3 million refugees in Russia. That was the result. The situation discredited. Now underline discredited means dishonest, the government and the Tsar. So because of this situation, so support of the people now reduce for the Tsar and the for government. The Tsar and government became unpopular. Soldiers did not wish to fight such a war. Now soldiers also, now they were not ready to fight such type of war. They were also tired. Now I am reading this paragraph. The war also had a severe impact. Impact means effect on industry. So we can see the severe, we can say the effect, a bad effect on industrial state, or we can say the on industry. Russia's own industries were a few already. The Russia, how was the country? Agricultural country. There were few industries, few in number, and the country was cut off. So because of this war, the Russia that was cut off, means isolated from the supplies of industrial goods by German control of the Baltic Sea. So the supplies, goods, etc., which were carried and sent by the Baltic Sea, by this sea route. So on the Baltic Sea route, the German control over this route. So the Russia that was isolated, was cut off from the suppliers of industrial goods. This was the bad effect because of the First World War. Industrial equipment disintegrated. Here underline disintegrated. Disintegrated means we can say the breakout. Now so many industrial equipments and instruments which were broken out more rapidly in Russia than elsewhere in Europe. So we can see the bad diverse effect in Russia as compare another European country. By 1916, railway lines began to break down. Now railway lines also started to break down, destroyed. Able-bodied men, now those who were the healthy men, were called up to the war. Now they were forcefully, strictly they were appointed, recruited to the in the army. The healthy person, healthy men especially. As a result, there were labor shortage. So because of the forcefully recruitment in army, so in we can say the in a industrial site, so we can see the labor shortage, and small workshops producing essential were shut down. So workshops were closed down, factories closed down, industries closed down. Large supplies of grain were sent to feed the army. So whatever the production, agricultural production, that was sent to the army for armies, for the purpose of the army, for their use, for the people in the cities. Now so those who were living in the cities, so bread and flour became scarce. Scarce means here shortage. By the winter of 1916, riots means fighting. Now we at the by the winter of 1916, we can see the disturbance, fighting, violence, such type of situation where at the bread shops were common. Okay, fighting which we can see in Russia. Okay, the people they were fighting for getting the bread where at a bread shops, as well as the stores, bakery shops, etc. So disturbance and the conflict and violent situation created. Now next paragraph we will read in next clip.